One will certainly reach reality through devotion to the self. All doubts are dispelled, and all problems related to worldly life are resolved through self-knowledge. This is my experience. The answer to "Who am I?" will reveal one's true nature. One who has the desire for their well-being, to be liberated from mental bondage, acquires the knowledge of the self sooner or later, and avoids birth and death. Humans alone have the ability to think and to understand their true nature. To attain self-realization is to fulfill one's duty, which is to live as reality while in a human form. The One who resides in each heart is reality, and that alone is real. One who takes refuge in the seen perishes, but one who takes refuge in reality attains eternal peace. All appearance is illusion, and the witness is reality. The seen is false because it is visible. The individual seer remains only as long as the objects are taken to truly exist. There is nothing apart from the seer and the seen in the world. Whatever is seen is an illusion created by the eyes. In a mirror, a face is seen, but the fact is that there is only one you. One who worships the self will become the self, because you become whatever you worship. the mortal world is only dust. So why worship it? When objective knowledge comes to an end, the individual seer does not survive as a seer. At that moment, the pride of I just melts away. As the individual being is conceptual, so also is the seer. If you call this city Bombay, it appears as Bombay. If you call it Earth, it will appear as Earth. It all depends upon the seer's concept. If you call an object a chair, it is a chair. If you call it wood, it is wood. If you call the all as reality, then the all is reality. If you call it the world, it is the world. Perception of objects depends on the concept of the seer. But reality is beyond concept, and no concept can capture it. There is a woman whom one calls his wife, another calls his sister, and a third calls his daughter. Actually, she is nothing but a lump of flesh and bones. Whatever you give a name to comes to exist. All is conceptual and depends upon the concept of the seer. The world and the beings in it are conceptual. The seer, who takes the world to be real is the ego. And that ego has to be eradicated. If the ego vanishes, then only reality remains. Reality is without attributes. It is not colour. It is not music. It is not yellow or black. The ghee, which is liquid, and the ghee, which is solid, are the same, just as water and ice is the same. When a seed meets the earth, there is a rise of consciousness. All that you see and perceive is nothing but the reality. What you see is only the qualified consciousness, just as you see that bangles or armlets are both made out of gold. You must stop insisting that good alone should happen to this body. You have become the gross body because only one body is the object of your concept. But all others should be considered as God. There is no other reality, with or without quality. All is the reality. Because we categorize all objects, there is the ego. But all other objects are the reality only. There is no need to change the form of the objects. Only the attitude of the seer must change. Reality is the same even when it is in a state with attributes. You should see reality in whatever state that exists. Even the atoms and molecules of a chair are all the reality. Once this attitude is taken, then you yourself our reality. Even though one sleeps, awakens, or goes about, one has not slept, awakened, gone about, or taken a meal. When all is reality, who is eating and sleeping? The one who is without quality and the one with quality who is speaking are both God. Whether a king is sitting on the throne or hunting, he is always a king. The one who is walking and talking is the idol of consciousness. When the ego self disappears, that is a sign of the ultimate experience. Ego is not reality, but appears as such. Everything is consciousness. It is not necessary to say, I am reality. Birth and death belong to this I. The five elements, as well as consciousness, are just as they are. But the subtle body which calls itself I, and which is full of desire, eventually succumbs to death. When someone tells us, so and so has expired, it means the name is dead. They came, therefore they died. Eradicate from your mind that you are some particular I. That is a sign of knowledge. One who says, I am the one who experiences, is swallowed by the demon and still remains within the illusion. It is the hand that lifts, but you say, I lift. The eyes see, but you say, I see. The nose smells, but you say, I smell. All this is the power of the reality, and yet you say, I did it. That power belongs to God. Who is this ego arrogating I? They have no place in the palace, but once admitted inside, they overrule the king and affirm their own existence. But after some inquiry, this ego's existence is easily disproved. Then the king once again affirms, I am reality. There is one thing about this condition. There is bliss. If there are two, then there is pain. Where there is one, there is bliss. An aspirant invariably faces the question, shall we continue to run our household, or shall we leave it altogether? Whether one runs a household or leaves it, it accounts to nothing. There is no sense in wearing a holy bael leaf garland around the neck, and yet having a rush of anger in the heart. If one is not attentive to one's inner self, what is the use of the saffron-coloured robe? The trees, tigers, beasts, and birds do not run a household. But does this mean that they have become saints? What is the use if one is not attentive to one's inner self? One should be alert. The objective knowledge should prove to be untrue. All the affairs we are conducting in the world should prove themselves to be untrue, and that which has been taken as untrue should be experienced as truth. What is the use of renunciation if one is not detached internally? The attitude must change. To know that all this mundane existence is false is an act of great bravery. One should be detached within oneself. Once one learns how not to get involved or how to renounce, one then gets the experience. In whatever circumstances or state one is in, one should be detached. Live as you like, but renounce internally. Find out the goal of your life and try to experience your true reality. Remove that wrong feeling that you are mortal. You have created this false concept for yourself because you are intoxicated due to the drink called ignorance. Stand up with confidence in self. Turn within. Do not entertain any fear for anything. eradicate completely the mental modification which goes out. If you think of your true nature by asking yourself, "Who am I?" or "What am I?" you will realize that there is no one as great as you. Have self-confidence. Make the thought, "I am the Supreme Self," steady within yourself. You will surely never fail to cross the ocean of this mundane existence. See only through the sight of the reality. Do not look through other people's eyes. All these other relationships are ready to fool you. Don't worry too much about the body while practicing, even if it goes to the gallows. I am a witness of this body. Let the body stay or go, but my heart is at the feet of the Master. Go on contemplating this, and intuitive perception is sure to come. Ignorant corpses are only moving about in the whole world. Life in ignorance is like death. Who is eating? All this service is for whom? You do not know. You are serving 6 ghosts, the 5 elements, and the ego. World means living corpses, where there is no idea of one's own true nature. They serve this body and take along with them a bundle of sins and virtues. This is the worldly existence of an ignorant person. But when one knows oneself and rejects all the pride that they are the body, then immediately they meet themselves. Then all their actions have borne fruit. Now, let what happens just happen. Let whatever was going go. The last doubt is eradicated. We have to live a few days. Let us pass the days playfully, in joy. Then let this body die on a bed or on the ground. Wherever the diamond is placed, it is sure to shine. It may be in one's hand or on one's neck. This Supreme Self, in the form of reality, will likewise remain happy, whatever the situation. The conviction should not shake. If the conviction is steadfast on truth, then even on the path of knowledge, strength can be gained. One who has the purest knowledge of the truth thinks that being bound and free is all a joke. When the illusion vanishes for them, with all names and forms, then all words become silent. Then how can anything like liberation still remain? What is the meaning of liberation? That is only a way in which people talk. All the bondage is for those who say they are the body. A jnani is free from the sense of I. For them, bound and liberated is only a delusion. They are only expressed concepts which are never true. One who has understood the illusion is free from all fear. The one who says, I will practice yoga after I become reality, is like the one going in search of water in a mirage. It means that such people are simply going backwards and forwards within a mirage. One who considers a mirage as true gets bound by it. For the one who is awake, the dream disappears. In the same way, this mirage, which is in the form of illusion, disappears for the jnani. The ultimate truth is beyond concept. when one starts meditating, the trinity of the seer, the seen, and the process of seeing is produced. All other objects and senses are alien to us, but because we ourselves are the truth, contemplation on ourself is not possible. If contemplation is given up, great doubts overpower us. But if one thinks and deliberates upon what is everlasting and what is transient, that is, what is self and what is not self, then the truth is revealed. We are not any of the things that exist in this world, including the body. The Vedas, the scriptures, the moon, the sun. We are none of these. We must sincerely find out who we are. Samsara is a dream within a dream. Having understood this, indeed you have thought of what is the real truth and what is not. The one who is never born went off to sleep. That has no old age. That is the one who has no death.